Previously on Follow the Leader. Today we're playing Karma by Frenzy Kitty Games. For those of you who are new to this game, here are the basics. Karma is a narrative story creation game about people surviving in difficult circumstances, where the goal is to tell and partake in amazing stories with your friends. It is part theater, part storytelling, and part role-playing game. Unlike traditional role-playing games, Karma focuses on collaborative storytelling rather than having one player function as the game master. In Karma, everyone will contribute equally to the telling of the story by acting out scenes and role-playing them with the other players. There is also no winner or loser in Karma. The prize is an amazing dramatic story that you and your friends will remember for a long time to come. We'll also be playing this game with a bit of a twist, using some elements from Mobile Frame Zero Firebrands by Vincent Baker and some of its hacks during play.
I want to introduce our playset.
Yes.
As we went to the effort of writing it.
Yes, please do, Jade.
So this playset we've dubbed A World About to Dawn, and it's very sort of inspired by the barricades of Les Mis and other sort of pre-revolution, like the night before the big stand. Like very sort of ugly. It's got a little bit of Blackadder Goes Forth kind of energy, just something. We're on the cusp of something that may be earth-shattering. So, and we gotta. If anyone wants to play with this, let us know, and we'll share the PDF with you or the Google Drive. But yeah, revolution is in the air, but it's not here yet.
Okay, so The name of the character is Sabriel Cohen. My role is the martyr. The description, the only thing I wrote in description was tired, scrungly.
Correct.
His virtue is generous, but his vice is that he is rash. His relationships, with Nezumi it is strained. Cordelia it is reluctantly cordial. With Vi it is secretive. And with Galador, it is romantic, of course.
All right. I am, once again, playing Nezumi Kazel, fair pronouns, or any, but however you like. And fair role is the strategist. In their late 30s, they're on the shorter side with a slim build, has a sharp gaze and fast hands. Long dark hair threaded with silver and a side shave, and a scalp tattoo of a flowering vine studded with cybernetic implants. One eye is entirely an inky black. Their virtue is pragmatic. Their vice is selfish. Relationships. Cordelia is strained, and then in brackets, romantic. With Vi is shared secrets. With Galador is respectful. And with Sabriel is reluctantly cordial and in brackets, untrusting.
I will be playing once more, the last time, Cordelia Waite Smith. The role I picked was the leader. I also wrote, or the skeptic if Sabriel picks leader. So, kind of both in the middle of those two. A description: tall, rangy, dyed black hair showing roots of red, a trusty leather jacket regained and re-equipped. Her virtue is courageous, her vice is vengeful. Relationships: Nezumi is strained, / romantic. To Vi is devoted, but doesn't know why. Galador is respectful, of Blade's strength and skill. If not Blade's priorities. And Sabriel is reluctantly cordial / untrusting.
I am playing aforementioned Vi Dumarsh, no pronouns Vi, only Vi is Vi. Vi is the wild card. No description. Don't try. It won't end well for you, Sabriel. Vi's virtue is game-changing, but Vi's vice is fickle. Relationships with Nezumi are Vi's relationship with Nezumi is shared secrets. With Cordelia is devoted. Vi knows why Vi is devoted. can't stop, won't stop. With Galador is reluctantly cordial, and with Sabriel, as proven in the last game, is untrusting.
I will be playing Galador Enderwall, uses Blade self-pronouns, and Blade's role is the muscle. Blade's kind of looks 40s-ish, average height, but somewhat broad. Eye patch over Blade's right eye, messy dark hair. Kind of think Oded Fair circa the Mummy, but a little older and a little broader. Also, there's just like a small thread of white hair at one temple. Blade's virtue is measured, and Blade's vice is vengeful. Galador's relationship with Nezumi is mutually beneficial. With Cordelia is strained. With Vi, reluctantly cordial. And with Sabriel, Blade is devoted/romantic.
I reach into my, tattered robes and pull out a box and go, well, not exactly the time and place for it, but flip it open, there's a ring inside. It's yours if you'll have it.
So I think what happens is Galador looks at the ring and then looks at Sabriel and says, "You can't put a ring on a sword." But Blade takes the ring and holds it in Blade's hand and says, "But I will try to become the kind of creature that you can put a ring on once this is done."
Sabriel just sort of lets out a long sigh and leans his head back against Blade's shoulder and says, "I think I could work with that."
We now return to your game, already in progress. All right, Sam.
Oh fuck! I have to frame a scene.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So our last scene that we had was the proposal.
Yes.
Can I do a flashback soliloquy of Sabriel finding the ring at the pawn shop?
Yeah, there's nothing stopping you.
Would that be, irrelevant?
It's relevant if you think it's relevant. Or, it's relevant if you make it relevant.
It's not really that relevant. I just couldn't think of anything.
You can look at, our motifs and stuff like that, being on this moon. How long ago was this? It says something about Sabriel's priorities, that we're in the middle of this resistance and that we're about to make a stand, and that they happened to be in a pawn shop, or maybe they were astrally projecting or something and happened to encounter it.
Astral projects into the pawn shop to steal a ring to propose to your
Well, that's not how astral projection works, but just more like how you could tie in the idea of finding that to the plots that are currently running.
Yeah. I think I do want to do a soliloquy, but instead of it being this flashback, I think what I want to do is we see Sabriel in sort of an astral form visiting each of the safe houses that he can remember, checking up on the revolution. In his real body, he is still leaning against Galador's shoulder, having completely passed out. After exerting all that energy, he is even still using his sleep to check up on all the other corners of the resistance on this moon, trying to just make sure that, you know, he's visiting everybody. He is looking in on all the little pockets of people that he can find, making sure that nobody else has been attacked. And I think that he finds mostly people who are just hunkering down. Maybe a couple of them have just received the news that the attack has happened. People seem a little worried and a little frantic, but they don't seem to be in any danger. And I think, having ascertained this, he begins to go back to his form. Do I get a complication on a soliloquy? I don't remember.
Yes, and I'm
Cool.
If no one else wants to go, I will go.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So you're headed back to your body. I think on a positive outcome, you get back to your body and you're able to relay the news of the other safe houses to everyone so you can start to regroup. On a negative outcome, I think there's somebody else there with your body.
Yep, that's what I was thinking. That's what I figured was gonna happen.
Yeah.
I think I would like to take a die to skew this towards a negative outcome, because I think that's interesting. I got a 7! So a 7 is still a success, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Whew.
Wow.
I thought it would narrowly avoided disaster there. It would have been interesting, but also it's kind of a relief that it didn't happen. Yeah, I make it back to my body okay. And I have no idea how badly that could have gone.
Well, I think it would be fun if, like, you catch a glimpse of something out of the corner of your quote-unquote eye as you make it back to your body, but yeah, your body's there, safe and sound.
My body is there, safe and sound, and nobody else is inside of it.
Correct.
Yeah, no, I think it is interesting if I catch a glimpse of something, and when I get back to my body, I flip my eye patch up to take a look at it, and it's gone. Whew.
All right.
All right. I think I want to make this scene with, at least with Galador and Sabriel. Cordelia and Vi welcome as well. But I think I want to have Nesme, like, waking up after the investigation that took place and going to find Sabriel, because if I'm remembering rightly what happened, Nesme's fully aware that it was Lane, or something that was done to Lane. So Sabriel makes the most sense to talk to. None of the Firebrands games necessarily vibe with this completely, so I'm just gonna freeform this.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Important question before the scene begins. What has Galador done with that ring again? Is it on a chain?
It is on a chain around Blade's neck, because Blade does not feel comfortable wearing it until after everything is over with.
Cool.
Yep.
Duly noted.
Is it outside of Blade's clothing, or is it, like, tucked in to the
I think it's more fun if it's outside of Blade's clothing. Like, Blade doesn't...
Hell yeah.
Why would Blade hide it?
Yeah, my internal thought process is it doesn't occur to Blade to hide it. And while, there's the concept of, keeping it close to the skin, it's also, like, keeping it out as a reminder. So...
I like it. And I think Sabriel likes seeing it, so...
Gay.
Yeah!
You think? Okay, so... Nezumi, probably looking rough as hell, knocks on, like, the door frame of whatever room these two happen to find themselves in. Sticks their head round the door. You got a minute?
Yes. Come on in.
You sure?
Fairly sure, yes.
I'm sure.
Right. Come in and like perch on an item of furniture. So when checking over the ruin of the old safe house, I was able, between Cordelia, via myself, we figured out what caused the explosion. Good news, it wasn't anyone within the organization. Bad news is that it is someone we know, in a manner of speaking.
Galador arches an eyebrow.
Sabriel, like, raises both eyebrows. It's like, go on.
Lane.
Shit.
I don't know quite how Empyrean have done it, but it tracks with everything we've heard about their experiments, but it's they've made him some kind of nexus of life, just in excess of it. It's like an antithesis of what Vi... And Nezumi kind of trails off, because trying to explain Vi, even in abstract, kind of gives you a migraine. That's possibly deliberate on Vi's part, who can say? All credit to
That sounds
her.
like something Vi would do.
I also like the notion that because of the nature of the variations that Vi has gone through, trying to wrap your head around it is physically uncomfortable. So, and it might be something specific to what happened to him, but given what happened to him, and looks pointedly at Sabriel.
Sabriel looks like upset. Sabriel is like not really paying attention anymore because he's just upset. Like, he's paying attention, but he's also like off in his head a little bit.
Sabriel.
Yeah. What? Yes.
We need you here.
I'm here.
Are you?
As present as I possibly can be. You've come bearing fairly bad news.
I'm aware.
Galador takes one of Sabriel's hands.
Aww. Sabriel is like holding very tightly, a bruising grip on anybody else, but for Galador probably like nothing.
I think I need a complication here, y'all.
There's an easy one.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want the easy one, or do we want to try for something else?
I mean, by all means, put the easy one out into the ether and we can see how we like it. Easy does not mean bad.
Put the easy one out into the ether, which is just Galador leans forward, and on a negative result, the ring swings out.
Mm-hmm.
That's a complication, all right.
Yeah. I'm a dramatic bitch. Hell
I
yeah.
love it.
Cool. I will, because I live for drama, I will take a negative die.
Hell yeah.
You can pick an opportune moment where
Yes.
this happens also. Like, it doesn't have to happen right here, but it happens before the end of the scene.
Sure. Look, I don't know what this means or anything.
I mean, I've got some idea, but
all right.
It has to do with some of they packed us full of this substance that made us more sensitive to both magic and spirits. I can't even imagine what that would have done to somebody who was caught in the astral plane the way that he is, whose body is no longer inhabitable. Having been packed so full of that energy and then being comprised exclusively of it. He sort of trails off and goes back into thinking mode.
You need to stop astral projecting.
Well, I can't very well just decide to... Fine.
There's
It's a useful skill.
that could get you separated from your body.
But I have this. He holds up the amulet. Does this not anchor me here?
Yes, but it's not foolproof. Nothing's foolproof.
I think at this point, Galador kind of cuts in and is just like, if you know him, do you think perhaps he can be reasoned with on the astral plane?
Lane was never the reasonable sort, but I'm sure it's worth a shot.
Are you...
Sorry, I just...
Oh, very good. This is great.
Ooh, dodged.
No, because I still need to do a -1 because I took a negative die.
Oh, this is very good.
Oh, good, great.
Yeah, there we go.
And Nezumi looks like they're going to press the point. Like, what did I just fucking say about how you shouldn't intentionally astral project, given that they can clearly take a soul that's in the astral plane and do shit to it, and instead is just looking at this ring hanging around Galador's neck and is just... Where did... I need to go now. And just turns around and goes to leave.
All right.
Unless you make a point to stop, fair. Like...
I do not make a point to stop them. I lean over to Galador and say, Does this mean that they're conceding my point? I'm a little confused.
Galador's...
Have I won?
Galador's just like, I think something else is going on. And I think Blade squeezes Sabryl's hand and gets up to follow Nezumi.
That makes sense.
Sweet.
Sabriel settles back to just sort of contemplate what he's learned thus far.
All right. That feels like scene unless we want to expand on what Galador and Nezumi talk about here.
Oh, I'm fine for waiting for my scene for that.
Wicked. Alrighty. Then Zach, it's your scene.
All right. Well, so the last thing we saw from Cordelia and Vi, if I remember correctly, was the two of them were meeting, and Cordelia pulling Vi into herself, and something happening.
The curtain was drawn.
Yeah. Now, I realize in retrospect that might imply some sort of amorous scene occurred after that curtain was drawn, which is fine, but was not what I was actually thinking of.
Valid.
I was, and maybe this is the same thing, was like, oh, this is like a bond being reforged. This is like the, whatever weird powers Cordelia and Vi used to have together are back now.
Yeah, that counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think us not being able to perceive what it was does not necessarily mean of a curtain drawing nature. It was more just there were shadows involved. We do not see it. It fades to black in the esoteric, shadowy way that things so often do around Vi.
Yes.
The implication being there is still very good, even if that's not actually what happens.
That's true as well.
It's about connotations.
Yeah, like the fact that to an outside observer it might read that way is interesting and adds like a
sure.
Yeah. Words hard.
Words, they are. Well, in that case, I think it's time for Cordelia Vi team up. We gotta. There's shit going down in this city, and people are having interpersonal conflicts, and Cordelia's left to do the important thing, which is not do that. I mean, that's, a hyperbole, but Cordelia wants Vi to come with her and deal with an issue that has been plaguing us. What that issue is, I'm like, what this like sudden Cordelia's like, all right, sweet, let's fucking go, pedal to the metal, let's do a mission together. What that is, I'm open to discussion on.
May I suggest, because of who I am as a person, that you do a chase?
Well, a chase is this. The problem with the chase is like one of us would have to be the prey and one of us would have to be the hunter. When it's more us, which I don't think is what's happening, because like why would either of us be hunting the other?
No. I was meaning more like using it as a framework for both of you to be going after an NPC of some sort.
I was also looking at The Great Hunt from Ocean Tides. Though I guess that's like everyone plays rather than like a couple people jumping in.
Well, it's not necessarily everyone plays as in everyone has to be a part of the hunt. It's everyone plays as in everyone participates in like providing details and things like that. So it could be the two of you on the Great Hunt and then the rest of us provide like suggestions for why can't I think of the word? Challenges.
And
details.
The hazards,
yeah.
as it says in the... What do you think, Mac? This is a game we're playing together.
Hold on a second, I have to look at the games. I think that probably Great Hunt is going to be better for us than a chase. But I, like Vi, am kind of just along for the ride. You've got the plan. Vi's just the muscle.
Oh, well, then let's set up, then.
Yes. Alright, what are we going after?
Good question.
Do you want to try to go after Lane?
Probably not yet. I feel like, because I don't want to be the one who solves that problem all by ourselves. And then, which maybe it wouldn't solve it to do this part. Just,
Is Nightingale still on the board, or has she been taken out?
That was that was what I was getting to, is that the game started with her in Cordelia's sights, but that might not have been a chronological beginning point. That might have been now.
Dope.
If you're interested in that, could be that Wilhelmina Nightingale is someone who has control or influence or at least knowledge about the mechanism through which Lane Redwood was transformed.
Yeah, that would make sense given her involvement with what happened to him in general. So
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of taking her out anymore as a revenge thing. It's a now we need to speak to her.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then there is that. Other players may ask questions, but record at any time. The other players take turns choosing a series of at least 4, but no more than 6 hazards. They also make up their own. Hazards may be repurposed no more than once. There are coins to determine the outcome of the hazards. The number of coins that you gain determines the outcome of the hunt. So we get that shot of Cordelia on a scaffolding, like a window washing platform on a big building with a rifle scope, looking and catching a glimpse of Wilhelmina Nightingale. And she says, well, we've got to move. It's now or never. We don't know where she's going to be after this, but we know where she is now.
All right. What's our first hazard? It's a very big stretch for me.
Big stretch.
Big stretch.
I believe the rest of them have to toss it out.
That's why I'm saying I'm opening the table to the other players.
Yes, I'm scrolling down to the game as well, even though the hazards are... Yes, okay, cool.
Okay. You go on, Sam.
Oh, shit, okay.
Do you have one, Jade?
Do you have one?
I was just going to say, I'm looking at your quarry is said to roost near, and I like the idea that you've, through, whatever means, you've got a position of where her next position is going to be. And you've got eyes now. So on ahead's the path to basically on ahead that you're going to be able to get ahead to meet them, or even get the drop on them. On a tails, you're going to have to figure out another way because you're not going to be able to do a close tail.
Right. Do you want to throw for this one, or should I, Zach?
I can. Sorry, can you remind me what it was? Which one it was? It was...
Your quarry is said to roost near somewhere.
The path of... Okay, so this is where we can try to open up a... Yeah, I'll roll for that. I'll throw for that, rather.
1 for heads, 2 for tails.
All right. 2 tails. It is too treacherous even to risk.
So maybe... she's too heavily guarded, or it's just going to be it's no way to follow safely without being spotted.
Yeah. So okay. Well, then we're going to need to set up an ambush or cut her off. We need to somehow distance her from her security detail.
Cutting off at the pass seems probably the best way to handle it. If tailing is impossible, that would be the way that I would do it.
I've got an idea.
All right.
So, instead of a freak weather pattern causing issues, maybe it's some sort of pop-up bazaar is causing a lot of traffic issues. And so on heads, you can use that to your advantage and use the cover of the people to get closer to her. But on tails, the presence of the large crowds kind of forces the guards to close ranks. And so it makes her more difficult to get close to.
Okay. Well, Vi, you're the shadowy one.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Not D3, please. Nope, that's still a tails.
Rough. Okay, so how's that work?
The thing that I'm thinking happens with Vi is that with the guards closing ranks, Vi can keep track of Nightingale, or Vi can keep track of Cordelia, and Vi cannot keep track of both.
Vi chooses to keep track of Cordelia.
Yeah, because Vi could probably subdue Nightingale, but 2 reasons. 1, it doesn't make for a good story. And 2, if Vi subdues Nightingale but doesn't have Cordelia there, then there's still the issue of finding Cordelia, risking losing Nightingale. Like, it just makes it all much more complicated.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the smartest plan, right? So, and then it just doesn't make a very good story, so metatextually, if I take a step back as the storyteller, like, obviously we're playing this as a game, I can't just Deus Ex Machina my way out of it.
Sure. Boy, well, okay. Well, let's see if we can manage to not get ambushed and nearly destroyed by our quarry. Which is what happens if we have less than 2 coins, and we have gained no coins with 2 hazards left. So, Vi and Cordelia are like moving through this thick, heavily populated, bizarre area. And Wilhelmina Nightingale is just staying persistently, infuriatingly 1 or 2 steps ahead of us the entire time. As we break from this throng, another hazard presents itself.
Sam or Jade, do y'all have another idea?
I mean, I was thinking about a freak weather pattern.
We haven't done much with weather in this game, so it could be a neat way to show off the climate of this place that this has all been taking place in.
That's true. I think that a freak solar storm is causing power fluctuations throughout the city.
Ooh.
Making it difficult for you to see where you're going. On heads, you weather it without being thrown, of course. On tails, it takes some time to figure out where you are, because you can't see anything.
And it's not that we can't see anything because it's, like, dark or murky. I think we can't see anything because it's so bright. It's, like, suddenly, viciously bright.
Ooh, I like that. Yes.
Because it's messing with the power of like, the lighting and stuff, but it's not like knocking it out, it's supercharging it.
Yeah, I like that.
And also, like, we've established Cordelia has some, like, visualization instruments, but those might be being interfered with, but with electromagnetic waves from the solar storm, too. So you have to have eyes, like, physical eyes on her.
Yeah. Yeah, my, like, HUD is wriggling and wobbling and glitching out. Okay. Well, Cordelia starts just fiddling with her headset, trying to fix the issue. And yet, a 2 is rolled.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Yeah, so that sounds, obviously, she moves.
Cordelia's like fiddling with her like goggles and is just full on break, and she just pulls it off and like starts looking around like wildly for Nightingale.
Do we need another hazard?
Well, because it starts with it's at least 4
Yeah.
hazards, so we've got 1 left.
We can do more.
Mm-hmm.
We can do more.
We just can't do more than 6.
Yeah.
All right. You are not the only hunter. There is competition for this hunt. And what that is Lane is entering the field because what you thought was a solar storm is actually a pyre white moving around.
I was going to say, I was like, are we sure it's not just Lane?
Yeah, I got you, boo. I got you. And so now it becomes, let's say on a head, you're able to avoid catching this other hunter's attention and stick to your quarry. On a tails, you are going to have to shake this hunter's attention before you can continue.
Yeah, that makes sense for Vi to be dealing with that. That's gonna be fun. Come on, please give me something good. What
Oof.
the fuck?
Oof.
Oof.
Jesus!
Wow,
just
Tatsumaki
broken dice
is
bot?
mad at us today.
Can someone else roll 1d2?
All right, that's 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 2 1.
That's 4 2s in a row for the listening audience. Well, there's a 1. Okay, so it can roll a 1. I'm not putting a command in incorrectly or something. We just have shit luck.
Yeah.
That's a you.
Tatsu just fucking hates you.
Tatsu just said, fuck you. Bad enough I had fucking COVID. You can't roll a fucking heads on a coin.
Tatsu found out that I exclusively use Roll20 and is insulted. Roll20 wouldn't do me like that, Tatsu.
Well, don't make it worse.
Don't insult
I will.
her.
I will make it worse on purpose. Anyway, well, that sucks. No, I mean, not to complain, but that is a string of bad luck, and it means that that the shit has changed in this situation that we're in. This might be seen as we might need to just transition into a game of survival or something. I don't know. What do you think?
I kind of want to just bail out, like, without turning it into a game. I think we can do that without, like, because, like, obviously it's my scene next, but I think we can skip ahead, do the bailout. If we were earlier in the game, I would be like, we can do a survival game and run the risk of one of us getting caught. But I'm like, we're so late. Like, we've got one round after this, and I'm like, I don't want to completely sidetrack.
Well, I mean, that's why I think, like, just a full-on fight with Lane Redwood in this, like, almost, like, climactic, like, part of the story. We're trying to, if you think that would be a sidetrack, I think that's an escalation into the climax.
Oh, no, I mean, it's an escalation. I just worry that it would become... I'm trying to figure out how to phrase what I'm thinking, so give me a second.
Sure.
We also technically need a complication, although honestly I think Tatsu provided the complication.
Tatsu provided the complication! We're good!
Yeah.
Okay, well, what if the complication specifically is positive outcome, you can bail and do the fight on your terms?
Mm-hmm.
Negative is that the escalation is happening now.
Sure.
Yeah. That works.
Yeah, we'll leave it up to the dice. It's my roll, right? Because it's my
Yes.
scene.
It is.
Yeah, what's your karma track at?
It's at that, whatever it is in the thing that I don't know how
Okay,
to
it's at
read.
standard, I think. Wait, no, 3 plus 2 minus is standard, isn't it?
Yes.
Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's -1, your track.
Okay, so what is this? What do I roll?
If you
You
just
can
want to leave it up to chance, you roll 2d6.
Oh.
If you want to influence it, you can influence it positively or negatively.
No, I've forgotten the rules of karma. Please ignore.
Okay. So I roll, and if I influence it negatively, that boosts my track up in the future.
Yeah,
right?
it'll give you more
Yes.
positive dice later. Yeah.
Then I will give up. Go one a pip, tick up on my little thing to make up for the one that I did earlier. Which means I'm going to roll 2d6 and then roll 1d6, and then the 1d6 is subtracted from the 2d6.
Yes.
Yeah. If you want the
Okay.
negative outcome. Ooh.
Well, that's a 12.
Damn.
And that's a
Oh.
1.
Still a positive
total of
outcome.
For a total of 11.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Okay.
We can roll good here.
Okay. So here's how this all like kind of flowed together. We started with, we were trying to track Nightingale, and we're like, oh shit, she's got so many guards. We need to like lure her somewhere to get away from these guards. And we, surge forward, and she gets caught up in this bazaar. We're following her through the bazaar, trying to get close to her, but it's like every the world itself is fighting us. And it continues as like lights begin to go on the fritz, electricity begins to like surge through everything, and someone's like, "Oh, it must be a solar flare. How unusual for this time of year." And Cordelia's like, pulls off her goggles, is looking around. Vi's like, "I don't think that's a solar flare." And there's this in like human-sized sun standing on like a rooftop nearby. It's like Vi is hard to look at because you can't focus. Lane is hard to look at because it hurts. Lane is as bright as the sun, is a figure cut out of the world and like filled with dazzling light. But we roll really good. How does that manifest? Because by default, in the Great Hunt, if you have 0 coins, your quarry ambushes you and nearly destroys you. But we rolled a really good on our complication roll. So how do those two things reckon with one another?
I think so we don't like wipe out the result of the complication roll. I think that you do find yourselves in a position where you could get you could get nearly destroyed by Lane, but because you rolled well on the complication roll, this isn't like a 2-pronged attack. You're not having to deal with Lane and Nightingale. You're just having to deal with Lane instead of like your quarry gets away, but you're still facing some consequences from that.
Yeah, I think we look and see across the way a car, like an armored car, pulls up, and Wilhelmina Nightingale. Imagine if Willow Nightingale was playing our villain. Wilhelmina Nightingale,
incredible,
gets into it and kind of like throws like a look, gives Cordelia a like kind of knowing, smug look as we hear the whine of this. Of like the air about to erupt into flame as like a beam of light and fire shoots from Lane Redwood's hand like a fucking like lightning strike or just the burning light of God, and everyone starts screaming and there's like this explosions. Cordelia like leaps out of the way, grabs a trash can lid to like. And it gets thrown across the room across the street from the force of the blast, and she just starts fucking popping off. But Vi, I mean, because it's your scene next, so let's tell us what this transition is from this to whatever you're having.
So the thing is that I was considering skipping ahead, and dealing with the aftermath.
Okay.
I don't know what the aftermath is now, though. Also, I was busy looking up a picture of Willow Nightingale. just so that the non-wrestling fans can see the immediate disparity.
Oh, she's pretty.
She's so cute! I love her.
She is adorable. And powerful.
She is very powerful. Alright. Should we all just come together?
Love that.
Come to in what sense?
Can we all can we just
group scene
in the aftermath of this? All 5 of us get together and actually have a conversation.
Sure. Well, so we escape from Lane's attack, or maybe Lane just nearly kills us, but leaves after Nightingale escapes.
Yes. We're not the targets.
And now we've got this like burned out, blackened, half destroyed bazaar. People like just started running. Lane was not particularly concerned about critical collateral damage, but also was not actively going for it. But it's still, people are like, holy shit, did you see the fucking the angel that tried to kill everyone?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Empyrean are gonna hate that. Very good, of course.
Yeah, I was gonna. Vi is gonna say, well, that's gonna do wonders for their image.
Oh, yeah, because their whole thing is, to be fair, that people need protecting from magic. So actually, they're going to love that shit. Just they're going to start spinning that their way.
Yeah, no one knows that it's them, that it's their creation.
I hate the bad guys that we are entirely responsible. They suck. Why did we do this? I can't believe we've done this.
So we should all talk. So
Yes.
let's all talk.
All right.
Get the gang together.
I think so. If all of us are coming together in this burned out bazaar to like look around, is that what's happening here, or are we reconvening elsewhere?
I figured we were going to reconvene elsewhere, because why the fuck would y'all know that we're out here?
That's fair. Yeah, that makes more sense. Where are we reconvening? Back at the new safe house?
Back at our secondary location. You ain't taking me to no secondary location. Sorry.
Okay. This isn't my scene. Mac, frame the scene.
Okay, so... How funny is it if, 2 hours after Nezumi has left the room, it's maybe been an hour or two after Nezumi has left the room, Vi comes back in with Cordelia and Nezumi.
And what Galador wasn't able to find for. It's just that doesn't amuse me.
Yeah.
That is fun. Yeah.
But Nezumi has been scooped up, just no, we're having a group conversation. No, you don't get to sit this out. No, I don't need to hear why you want to.
No, you don't get to sit this out. We there are a lot of moving pieces here, and if this is going to, Vi is okay, there are...
I got exploded today.
You look fine.
I got exploded at. Sorry.
There are a lot of moving parts here, and if you have any chance of succeeding, then we need to talk to each other. I cannot believe I am the one saying that. And this is basically just information sharing. That's the whole point of this. Is Vi is I can't believe I'm the person who's saying that we need to share information. So Vi relays everything that we found out trying to get Nightingale and the incident with Lane, the Pyreway.
Sabriel looks troubled.
Well, it seems like the possibility of getting Lane on our side is off the table at this point.
Yes, the wasn't ever really a strong possibility to begin with, but it's definitely not a strong possibility any longer.
Yeah, a reconciliation feels a little shaky after all those lasers.
Yeah.
Am I the only person who it occurs to that maybe Lane isn't in complete control of what he's doing?
That is a fair point.
No, you're not.
All right.
But reconciliation may still not be possible.
I don't
Especially
disagree.
if he's not in complete control.
Yeah, but ascribing intent when there isn't, when we don't know for sure that there is intent, is dangerous.
Fair point.
Meanwhile,
someone's intent is to destroy us. And if Lane is, whether it's Lane himself or somebody acting through him, intent is clear. If Lane's being mind controlled and we can get him out, fine, good, fantastic. But I mean, one way or another, it's the thing he is now that is trying to kill us, and has nearly succeeded twice. If we can get Lane out, if we can if we can magic Lane's spirit back into a more whole state and bring our friend back, I'm all for that. But I don't want I don't want a desire for Lane's safety to jeopardize our own, is all I'm saying.
You're absolutely correct.
I can agree to that at least. If Galador is agreeing, and it's like, all right, well, okay, I'll concede.
If the living weapon is conceding about, like, the concerns about other people being used as weapons.
Yeah. So where do we go next? What do we do with a sort of gesture to the hypothetical, spread of information in front of us?
Is it too risky to go after Nightingale again? I don't feel like we were that far off in your assumption that she might be a good target.
I don't know. She seemed to be fully in control the entire time we were trying to get our hands on her.
So really, we just need somebody to interface against Lane while you go after her.
She probably wouldn't expect us to try to go after her again in the same night.
Yeah, because that would be ridiculous.
And foolhardy, but hey, what are we if not foolhardy?
Stole the words
yeah.
right out of my mouth, Sabriel.
Excellent.
So is this the plan? We try to kidnap a woman twice in one night? After she has demonstrated the willingness and capability to incinerate us where we stand?
Seems like it. Can I sort of... Oh god, is this the same...
Who is a complication, by the way?
Complication, by the way, yes. I was also gonna ask, is this the same day as the original explosion?
No.
I can't imagine.
No.
I don't think so.
No,
I think
okay.
I think we did a minor time skip. If we didn't do
Perfect.
a minor time skip, we're saying we did one now.
Retroactively, let's say it was a little time skip. Okay, perfect, because that means that Sabriel's magic has been sort of recouped, and he could perhaps use some of his newfound healing magic on his good friends to make it a little easier for us to do this thing in one night. Because in our previous episode, we showed that Sabriel has been trying to learn healing as a way of pushing back against his own sort of living weaponness.
The spirits, they did it all in one night. Thank you.
Hey, let's say that the complication is thus. Sabriel is either able to use some healing magic on probably specifically Cordelia and Nezumi.
The complication really should be for Vi, as it's Vi's scene and Vi's karma pool that's at stake.
Yes, it is. That is correct. Let's go back to that then. I forgot about whose scene it was. My bad.
No, you're all right.
It's hard when it's a group scene.
It's true.
And the person whose scene it is doesn't say very much during it.
Does anybody else have a complication then? For Vi?
I mean, this plan sounds like a fucking complication, to be honest. But, you know.
Shit.
That is so true. Well, in any case, Sabriel does heal people then, because it's not his complication.
So, to be clear, and this is both in character and out of character, the plan is to, regardless of the specifics, try and get hold of Nightingale. To what end?
Yeah. I mean, well, probably the most optimistic is to stop her. But I don't know how feasible how close the relationship between getting her and stopping all of this is.
Right. Nightingale's just one piece of this. You lot all seem to enjoy chess metaphors so much. One piece off the board does not win the game.
As if it's the
Yeah,
king.
unless it's the... And you think Nightingale's the king?
I don't know. I wonder if people like Empyrean even play with a king anymore.
Somebody has to hold the codes.
Does somebody? Or can many people hold parts of the code? I guess the question is, how arrogant are the people at the top?
They're at the top, of course they're arrogant.
Yeah, I don't think that's really a question. Of course they're arrogant. I mean, I can tell you from being held at the bottom that the people at the top have the utmost arrogance.
But there's a difference between only I can do this and only we can do this.
Well, perhaps if we have her, we can see if she sings like a nightingale. Nothing else, she might have some good information.
All right, back to kidnap. Well, you don't need me for that. Can I leave now? And look at Vi. Look in the direction of Vi.
You got a place to go?
You have somewhere else to be?
That's what I just said.
Vi's
Not quite.
Vi kind of looks at Nezumi. Not that Nezumi can tell.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Fine.
And I'll turn to look back before I go. Just like, I don't understand what it is you need from me right now. When you have something for me to do, I'll do it.
Aren't you the smartest person in the world?
If I was, people would listen to me, wouldn't they? And I do walk out then.
Oof.
Oh, yeah.
That's fair. We are not listening to Nezumi right now.
Vi did notice that Nezumi was kind of doing bad, and was kind of like, you know what? Yeah, I don't need to force this issue. If the others want to be stupid about it, they can, but I don't need to.
Dude, stupid is all of our collective middle names, so...
Bitch! Fuck you!
Excuse you? Hi.
You over there with the himbo contingent, maybe.
Does Cordelia count?
No.
I'm distracted by the pretty with Cordelia is the thing. So, yeah, Cordelia is not a himbo. This has been established.
Cordelia is the smartest one here. No, Nezumi
Now?
still is. Well, now,
Yeah,
now,
the room.
Yeah.
now that Nezumi's left, Cordelia's the smartest person in the room.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is you're sitting with a hammer, so all of the problems look like nails to Galador, so...
Yeah. Okay, let's say we need a complication for Mac to roll for. Is this Vi throwing their weight? Like, the complication is the group is divided right now. Like, it's at odds with itself. I suppose the positive outcome is Vi is able to help mediate, I guess, or bring things together, or create a means to bring Nezumi back in, I guess. And negative outcome is that this splintering, or this, I suppose, lack of focus is going to be how things are going to run for a little bit.
Vi has never mediated a damn thing in Vi's life.
I know.
So, what am I at right now? Yeah, push me up, coach. We're gonna take a negative here.
Okay.
Mostly because I think that this is the worst possible. It's a great complication. It's funnier if Vi somehow manages to succeed despite all the odds, and I am stacking the odds.
See if you can pull what Zach did. No, you have not. You have done the opposite.
Well, we don't know yet. You still have to roll your negative.
That's not how numbers work, August.
Yes, it is, because if you roll a 0, you have to re-roll.
You're so right. I take it back. You are quite correct.
But
I rolled a 3.
Yeah.
No. And this is, listen, this is expected outcome, right? This is like, Vi is sitting there going, like, and I think the thing that Vi is going to do is Vi is going to be like, great, you 3 figure out what you're going to do. I'm going to go talk to Nezumi. Or at least see if I can. Like, Vi doesn't say that second bit, but Vi is like, you 3 figure out the plan stuff. Loop me in where you need me. I'll be back. And Vi is gonna go talk to Nezumi.
Awesome.
Because Vi, unfortunately, has feelings.
Aww.
So, for some reason, I don't think Vi is particularly happy about it, but because Vi has feelings, Vi is like, well, I need to go make sure that this person that I care about through gritted teeth is okay.
I gotta go make sure this person I care about is okay. I love it. I love you. This rules.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And to be clear, like, we can off screen have you guys successfully capture Nightingale, because that's not the key plot here.
I like that.
No,
I like the idea that, like, August's scene is like, we're interrogating Nightingale now.
Sure.
Unless August has a different idea, which means that it's August's scene, so.
Yes. Anyway, that's my scene, so we can move on with our lives. However,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's totally cool if the plan works. The point is that the group is divided.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to have a sense of, so was it who all went to successfully kidnap Nightingale? So obviously Galador was on board. Cordelia
Sabriel's ready to fucking fight.
Yeah, Sabriel was on board. Cordelia, were you coming with us, or?
Sure. I'll grab people all day.
So I think we've got her. I think we're at a tertiary location at this point. We're not gonna drag her all the way back to where our current base is, especially if we've got the threat of Lane potentially looming still.
Sabriel sort of assigned himself the task of keeping an eye out for Lane.
What do we think? Here's the question I have. A, does Nightingale recognize Cordelia?
I mean, she's gotta.
Yeah, Cordelia's there, right? Yeah.
Because there was a time where Wilhelmina was Cordelia's boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew she was Cordelia's boss. I didn't know if they had, like, a deeper connection or anything like that.
I mean, mentor would be the correct.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was mentor or not. So it's been a bit since I listened to those episodes.
Mm.
So I don't know. I don't necessarily want to play out an interrogation scene. I'm more interested in abstracting it. Like, how does Nightingale respond to this? Like, I don't know if it's more interesting for her to be the kind of person who's like a hard nut to crack, or if it's more interesting if she's like, oh yeah, sure, I'll give you information, and, be really obsequious.
Well, does somebody outside of the scene want to take control of her? She's never been on camera before. Not
I
as a
got you.
character.
I got it. I'm here. I'm prepped. I'm good to go. Also, me and Mac are the ones not in the scene, and I know Mac is here as much as they're able, but also
As much as I am able to be.
So, Galador's definitely the type of person to inflict bodily injury in pursuit of getting information out of out of someone, but again, I'm not interested in describing that. Just know that the threat is there.
Hey, August.
Yes.
The program that Galador came from, does it have a name?
I'm sure it does, but I don't know it off the top of my head. It's never come up. Project Daedalus.
Okay.
No, Project Damocles. It's Damocles that has the sword.
Damocles.
Project
Yeah,
Damocles.
that's-
Love it.
There we go.
That's
Love that for you. All right. So I think this is after maybe a little bit like there's these threats going on. Like it's been made very clear. And I think Wilhelmina, who's like, I think she's like late middle-aged, right? Like 50s, graying hair or grey hair at this point, but still pretty damn put together, just casts a cursory look over Blade with all of the vibe Blade is putting out, and just offhand says, Project Damocles then. And we'll look at Sabriel, and we'll drop the name. What was the name of the orphanage again, Sam? St. Josephine's? Our Lady
Our Lady of something. Hold on, I have to open up an old file.
Okay, it doesn't matter too much, but we'll also drop that program's name looking square at you.
I have a lot less control over myself, so I'm gonna do some, like fire coming out of my hands shit, like fiddling with magic type crap. Like, can I help you?
Guys, come on. She knows the name of the places where the enemies of her organization come from. Don't get rattled. This is classic.
Sabriel just sort of throws his hands in the air and like walks to the corner of the room and sits down and is unhappy, glaring at this woman. This man was not made for interrogations.
This is bare minimum research.
Perhaps.
And I think Wilhelmina starts rattling off more than just basic information, like birth names and dates of birth and all of this jazz. Like, because Empyrean's whole thing has been like making sure they have all the information, right?
And all the records, and yeah.
And I just really like the notion that this is the culmination of that. And given the way we've painted the resurrection as being right now, as like very much backed into a corner, it does feel kind of apt that this would be like they would be known.
100%, yeah.
Even if Cordelia's like, well, that is actually kind of a lot. She's still gonna be like, do the like the blah 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 hand motion with her hand.
Aren't you a bit old to be doing that kind of behavior, Cordelia?
Aren't you a bit old to be throwing people's history in their face?
Touché. How on earth did you find yourself caught up in all of this?
Wish I could tell you.
Well, that's a pity.
But however it happened, it's the state of affairs, and you are our lucky ticket winner for the day. Because you're the one, all that knowledge you got, we're going to need some of it.
Why would I give you that?
And you've already... Why? Why? Galador, why would she give us information?
Well, it's certainly not out of the goodness of your heart, so let me appeal to your more practical nature. And I think Galador was not particularly shaken by any of the information that she spouted, but I think Blade starts talking about, like, what various tendons do, what various bones do, you know, the nature of flexion in particular joints, that kind of thing. Just very conversational.
Well, someone's been reading up on their Grey's Anatomy.
You seem to be well equipped with knowledge about Project Damocles. You should understand what Project Damocles' education entails.
I do. I'm just one cog in a very large machine. But if you think that I have information that you could be useful for your little rebellion, ask away. For all the good it'll do you. Call it, and looks directly at Cordelia, just like, nostalgia.
I can't complicate my own scene, but I feel like this is where a complication should happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, complication, she gives us the information or she doesn't, but I don't know if that's...
I mean, do we want... Well, here's the question. What's the narrative use of not getting information?
Fair.
I was going to say, I think she is quietly just like, I don't care, I think you're going to lose. Sure, I'll tell you what you want. It's not going to make any difference.
I think one thing that could, a complication that we could, like a path we could diverge is whether or not upon giving us the information that we ask for, she is immediately broken out because of some larger plot that she was already enacting, or she doesn't.
I have a perhaps different direction for a complication, and it is maybe more specifically to Galador's sort of mindset here, is like Galador is able to extract this information without becoming reduced to a living weapon the way that Blade otherwise would be. I don't know.
You gotta get nasty.
Exactly. Whether or not Galador has to get nasty.
I don't
That's the
know,
complication.
like, I like the concept of that complication, but also, like, I think it's more interesting if we don't have to result to that to get the information. I think it's more interesting if she's just like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever.
That's totally fair.
Like,
That works too.
I think Zach's suggestion of does she get then rescued or whatever, and it is clear that this is part of something bigger, or she sticks around as a resource because Empyrean is done with her.
I like that. That's actually
I like that.
That's really good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teamwork.
I want the positive outcome, so I'm going to boop my karma pool and roll
Alright.
3d6. 12.
Nice.
So she gives us the information, but Empyrean's done with her, and she's like expecting extraction that never comes.
Oof.
Rough.
Sucks to suck.
That's what happens when you back the wrong horse.
Yep.
My turn again.
Yep.
Right, guys, this is our final round of scenes before the finale.
Mm-hmm. I really want to try talking to Lane. I think it's a terrible idea. And I'm gonna like up front be like, I'm gonna take the whatever is the like take a negative dice on this because I know it's not gonna go well, but I would like to interface with Lane.
Well, I mean,
I
it
could-
seems like...
I
Go on, Zach.
was just gonna say I could be Lane.
Yeah, you can be Lane again because you've been Lane before.
And also, I think it makes sense. With all of the stuff we've been seeding, it absolutely makes sense because things have got to go wrong, right? Like, we've set up all this... There's all this stuff just waiting to fall over. That's what
Yeah.
it's there for.
And
Do it.
Sabriel is famously not known for making good decisions.
No, I love this for you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so I think Sabriel is going to, following this extremely, being a little shaken from this extremely difficult, I'm gonna throw all the information that I have about you in your face, is gonna retreat to a back room, give Galador a little hug and be like, I'll be back later. I just need to rest a little. And he's gonna go and lay down and astral project and try to find Lane.
You dumb fuck.
All right. Is there a game? Is there a game you want to do with this?
It's a great question. That's a great question. I hadn't thought that far ahead.
There's a verbal confrontation.
We could do a verbal confrontation,
or an animated disagreement. Well, an animated disagreement is everyone.
Oh yeah.
That's everyone plays, but you have a chosen partner.
Got it. Being sword to sword.
I like a verbal confrontation. This sort of makes a good vibe from one particular harbor.
Mm-hmm.
I like the
There
vibe.
we go. Verbal confrontation. Here we go. Others may join only if it makes sense for them to be there. Decide together on the confrontation. All right, so how does this go? I am astrally projecting.
Mm-hmm.
Where do I find Lane?
Okay. Well, so what do you notice about each other? What have you heard? I mean, where do you want to? I mean, in the astral the astral space is the answer.
Yeah.
But what does that mean?
I actually have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So Lane appears in the physical space as this brighter than the sun figure. Is Lane able to move through the astral plane without appearing this way in the physical plane?
Probably not.
Awesome. Oof, poor guy.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. What does Lane look like on the astral plane?
I mean, the same.
The same?
Right?
Okay. I wasn't sure if Lane is normal on the astral plane, but fucked up on the material plane.
No, isn't that what we just said?
Wait, no. I was asking about fully withdrawing from the material plane and appearing as this sort of sun on the astral plane to move unimpeded through space or whatever.
Oh yeah.
If we consider Lane as the Pyrowhite to be similar to Vi, then wouldn't it make sense that Lane on the astral plane would be more visible? But, remember last time how when Sabriel caught a glimpse of Vi on the astral plane, Sabriel was able to kind of see Vi, but it was more sort of experiencing not exactly emotion, but it was more sensation than anything else. If the Pyrowhite is similar to Vi, but obviously not exactly because they're the direct antithesis of it, wouldn't it make sense for it to be a similar sort of experience?
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
It can be more visual this time if you want it to.
Yeah.
But being able to more clearly see an outline despite this time.
Yeah, the brightness is still there. It's clear that maybe he is made of light and fire or this stellar supernova. But because it's the astral plane, it's more like how you get sunspots on your eyes after you've looked at some. Maybe it's like that. You can see it more, but it's like an after effect or an afterburn of it.
That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah, when you take a picture of a star and you can tell that it's still emitting light, but you can also see the surface of it and how the flame.
Yeah, I like that. That rules. Awesome. So this is what
you can tell the damn thing is still on fire.
Yes.
But you can see the details more clearly.
I love that. Yes. So that's what Lane looks like to me. What does Sabriel look like? But in the shape of a man. Yes. No, he's not just a ball of light. Awesome. Okay. So, I'm just going to read this out loud so that the audience set up. You and your partner play. We already read that. During the confrontation, anybody can ask for details about the location or circumstance. I go first by making an accusation, and my partner answers with a response, both from the list provided. After that, the confrontation can progress as an improvised conversation. However, either player may make an accusation at any time, followed by a response from their partner. Okay. So, here we go. I'm going to start by just... Oh my goodness.
Did you describe what you're doing? What you look like in the astral plane?
What do I look like in the astral plane?
The circumstances and the setting of this confrontation are?
I have not described that yet. That's very true. So let's say that Lane isn't terribly far away, and it is easy for me to trace the light in the astral plane to him.
Lane's like kind of sitting, like squatting on the edge of a building, looking down. And since it's the astral plane, like spirits and like humans and stuff are like kind of little points of light almost, just kind of like surging around like ants, basically down in on the streets below, and like buildings and like mundane materials are like just dark and like opaque. Or maybe they're a little more like diaphanous and like fog-like, just to kind of like set the scene of how this is a conversation that is occurring not in real space.
Yeah. Yes. all of these accusations are very good, and I'm trying to think about which.
Sam,
I mean, the
you
betrayal.
still not said what Sabriel looks like.
What does Sabriel look like? Sabriel looks like himself, but like sort of like watery, like washed out. Like Sabriel looks like Sabriel, but in sort of grayscale, and sort of the edges of Sabriel are bleeding into like nothingness, like wispy, just sort of falling apart.
Ooh, a detail if you wish.
Yes.
I was just thinking, like, when you colour something with watercolour pencils, and then when you add the water to it, but you add too much water, just like the edges, like, bleeding out a little bit into the astral plane around him.
I love that so much. That's beautiful. Thank you for this detail.
You're welcome.
All right, so I start this confrontation. I'm standing behind Lane. Lane is not paying attention to me, and I'm going to say...
Holy shit, Lane, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's like... How could you betray me? And... You betrayed all of us when you took up with Empyrean. After they killed you? Well, killed.
Empyrean gave me a new form of existence. You knew where I was. What did you do?
I tried, I researched, I studied, I wanted to help you, but I couldn't see a way beyond creating a vessel for you to inhabit. It wasn't that easy.
What you're saying is you failed.
Perhaps. But what else is new? Sabriel takes a seat next to Lane.
I think Lane looks down at the tiny motes of light swirling around. He says, when you are fully severed from the body, from the flesh, from dust, your perspective changes quickly. There's a lot more out there than humans, mortals, can stand to reason with. Honestly, you're fighting to protect something that doesn't even exist.
Perhaps so, but when it's all that you know, what else can you do? Perhaps this may not exist to you anymore, but for us it is real. It is the only thing we have. From up on your... wherever you are. Sabriel's kind of struggling here. I could have chosen to do good, but instead you've chosen the opposite. Chosen to do harm after all the harm that was done to us. I just don't understand it.
Your spirits persist after your bodies are destroyed. I'm not harming anything that matters.
I'm sorry to hear that that's how you feel. But life matters.
Sabriel, you don't understand what life is. You've only seen a sliver of it. If you want to protect your own, stay out of Empyrean's way.
We both know that that's not possible.
Then I look forward to sharing with you the rest of existence.
Hi, it's August, and I just wanted to thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed us, please consider leaving a rating on your podcast platform of choice, telling your friends about us, or tweeting about us using the FTLcast hashtag. We are also part of a nonprofit podcasting guild called Standing Stones Productions. We do a variety of shows, including The Room Where It Happened and Dumb Kids Playing Hero, 2 actual play shows, and a Steven Universe discussion podcast called Gay Space Rocks. We also do live streams at twitch.tv/StandingStonesProd. You can keep up with everything that we do on Twitter at Stones_Standing. Unfortunately, Standing Stones was already taken. Your support means a lot. Thanks again!